Good morning, everybody. Today you're going to be doing lesson 11, volume with fractional edge, lengths, and unit cubes. This is just a fancy way of saying what has the greater volume and how do we solve for volume. So one of the first things that I want to make clear is we're no longer working with 2D shapes. We will be working with 3D shapes from here on out. So our volume formula is length times width times height, or we can use it interchangeably with volume equals base times width times height. I'm going to use those interchangeably. Today we're really going to focus on which prism holds more 1 by 1 by 1 cubes. And essentially we're just seeing what has a greater volume or which cube and what is their volume. So how many more cubes does the prism hold? So please star this opening exercise. This is very, very, very similar to one of your test questions. I know a lot of you on the test, when it asks you which one holds more, you just circled one and moved about your day. You actually need to solve for volume, and you need to explicitly say which one and why. So if I'm going to call this one maybe rectangular prism A, and I have rectangular prism B, you'll see that I've already done this work for you to make it really easy to explain how this is going to look. So if volume equals length times width times height, it doesn't really matter because of the commutative property of multiplication, which order I put these in. So a lot of times I always like to work from left to right. So I have 10 by 4 by 6. You'll see on the second row, I've done the first two. So 10 times 4 is 40. 40 times 6 is 240 inches. And you're going to see we are no longer squaring it. We are cubing it. It is a 3D figure, so it should have a 3 above the unit. Now if we're looking at B, you'll see again, I'm moving from left to right. 8 times 5 times 12. Second row, 40 times 12. Same thing, just two different numbers to get there. One was 10 times 4. This one's 8 times 5. 40 times 12, 480 inches cubed. Now, it does say how many more cubes does this prism hold? So I can take 480 minus 240, and cube B holds 240 more cubes because we're working with 1 by 1 by 1. So today we're going to just be practicing this a little bit more. So if I am looking at example 2, this lesson likes to confuse you and starts asking you for 1/4 inch cubes and 1/2 inch cubes, and it requires a lot more steps than anything that I'm ever going to require you to do. So I want you to keep thinking about, if we're just solving for basic volume, how many cubes can fit inside the prism. So I am looking at example 2, and you're seeing it's no longer just whole numbers. So I'm going to again start off with volume equals, this time I'm going to use base times width times height. Base times width times height. And then I'm going to input V equals, moving left to right, 1.5 times 1 times 3 and 3/4. Now to make this easier, I like to turn my mixed fractions into improper fractions. V equals, so then it makes it really easy for me to just multiply across. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3/2 times 1/1 times 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Now I can start solving. So I'm going to do my first two first, because that, according to PEMDAS, since it's all multiplication, I'm going to move from left to right, and I'm going to do that right over here. So V equals, I have 3/2 times 15/4, because if I multiply it across 1, it doesn't change anything. So now I'm going to multiply across again. So if I'm doing V equals, So now this time I'm doing 3 times 15. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have my 5, and then I have 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1, so we have 4. Sometimes I can't do it in my head, so I always like to double check. Okay, we're good. And then 2 times 4 is 8. So now again, I'm going to take this into inches cubes. Now I already know you're going to ask, do I need to put this back into a mixed fraction? As of right now, no. I'm not really concerned about it. I don't really care about it. You can leave it as an improper fraction. I'm totally fine with it, unless it works out really easy and you can divide it really nicely. So for example, if I was to say 8 goes into 45 5 times, so really I'm seeing 5 and 5/8 inches cubed. So if it's like, I like to do it if it's lower numbers and it's numbers I can do really quickly in my head, I'll simplify it and make it a mixed fraction. As of right now, I can leave it as an improper fraction. So you are going to be practicing solving base times width times height. You are going to be doing 1A, which is this 5 1/3 centimeters times 2 1/3 centimeters times 1 1/3 centimeters. You are going to be doing that with a partner. And in addition, you are also going to be doing 2A, 2B, no 3, and then you are going to be doing number 5. So I'm just going to say what you need to do. So you're going to do 1A, 2A, 2B, and 5. And then when you are done, you are going to get your exit ticket, which you are going to do independently. You are going to turn it in. Then you are going to put away your binder. And if Mrs. Williams and your guest teacher have determined that you are on task and working, they will let you know if you can listen to music. If not, it'll be a non-music day. So have a great math lesson. Have a great day. Work hard. And I look forward to hearing about how you do and see how you do on your exit ticket when I get back. Have a great rest of your day.